I tried to host my first Thanksgiving alone, and it was an absolute disaster. Part 2. I set the turkey in the sink and turned on the cold water, following my mom's advice. As I stared at the bird, now under a steady stream of water, I began to question my life choices. Why hadn't I double-checked the label on the turkey? How did I manage to mess up the most basic part of Thanksgiving? The water wasn't thawing the turkey as quickly as I hoped. An hour passed, and it was still frozen solid. Frustrated, I kept running more cold water over it, hoping to speed things up. In the meantime, I tried to focus on everything else I could get ready. I started prepping the sides, boiling potatoes for mashed potatoes, and tossing together a simple green bean casserole. Anything to distract myself from the disaster unfolding in my sink. But it wasn't just the turkey that was giving me trouble. The mashed potatoes? I overcooked them. The casserole? I burned it. Every small step in the process seemed to snowball into something worse. My heart started to race. Why was this so hard? Was it really that difficult to make a decent Thanksgiving meal? After another hour, I checked the turkey again. It had thawed just enough that I could begin to prep it, but it was still a far cry from ready. I shoved it in the oven, hoping for the best, but I knew in the pit of my stomach that I was about to fail. My friends were arriving in less than an hour, and I was starting to feel a bit of panic setting in. I texted them, "Heads up, the turkey is still thawing, dinner might be a little late." One friend replied with a laughing emoji, "You got this, no worries." But I knew I was in over my head. I looked at the clock and tried to steady my nerves. If the turkey was still frozen, I would have to figure something out, maybe order takeout. But I couldn't imagine how awkward that would be. Thanksgiving dinner with takeout? The idea seemed absurd. But then again, what other options did I have? My apartment was starting to smell like burnt casserole, and I had no backup plan. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the turkey was ready to roast. I shoved it in the oven, hoping it would cook properly, but something told me I was not in the clear yet. My heart was racing, and all I could think about was how I was going to salvage this disaster.